robot about this tall, hooked up to a non-invasive brain-computer interface.
Two things on this one. It always seems like I have two things for your videos. So the first one is, how do we build the framework around this robot so that when my intrusive thoughts come into play, and I want to be very clear, I do not want to self-harm myself. I don't want to do any of those things. The brain will think bad things to test our reality and test things out and experiment in our brain with what that would look like to, scare us into, okay, that would be bad, let's not do that, right? So how do we train the robot that when I'm messing around with the pupa sifter in the mealworm farm and I think, oh man, what if my hand went down in there? Like, I don't want the robot to whoosh, right, and shove its hand down in there. How do we build that barrier or guardrail, but knowing that ideally there are going to be situations where it would be better for the robot to go into a harmful situation than to send the human in? How do we do that? The second thing is, how do we build the mental framework? And this is something I personally have struggled with going from corporate life to where I am now, the discipline required to do the hard work that has to be done. How are we going to keep that when, if I walk into the mealworm farm, instead of me moving 200 trays and then needing help with from the robot because didn't sleep well that night, or I've hit the level where in my body it's not good to continue going, right? How do we build that mental framework so that I still go in day after day and do the physical work that's good for me up until my point, and then the robot can help with that so that I don't just deteriorate into nothingness physically? Like, how's that going to work? And everybody's level is different, right? Like, I keep thinking about my mom in a wheelchair. If she was still alive, her level of physical needs and activity are going to be different than mine, right? Like, everybody's unique and different. And so how do we map that out?